Senior fellow at the Gatestone Institute, author of the upcoming book, China is Going to War. Gordon, the Beijing bailout, you say something like that has been tried by past presidents. How did it all work out for us?
We did that in 1972 with Nixon, George H.W. Bush in 1989, and Bill Clinton in 1999. 3 rescues of the Communist Party. Well, we thought by being generous, China would reciprocate. Well, no, it just used the respite to actually strengthen itself and become more hostile. This is the biggest diplomatic mistake in U.S. history, the grandest wager. And clearly we have an East Coast establishment that wants to continue it. You know, Bret Stephens talking about being magnanimous towards the Chinese, which really means being pretty awful to American workers. Well,
when you think about this BRICS meeting that took place, I guess Putin didn't attend, but he phoned in or something. How significant is this? There are some people who say, oh, it's not a big deal. But isn't that a direct assault on Americans' preeminence in the world as a global superpower if it continues to expand like they want it to, especially the de-dollarization?
Well, China certainly wants it to move in that direction, and then China certainly wants to de-dollarize the world. We got to remember that Biden has opened the door to this. You know, if we worry about de-dollarization, we worry about the petrodollar. Biden made Saudi Arabia an enemy. Trump had the greatest relations with Saudi Arabia. That's not an exaggeration. And then you turn around and Biden tries to make them a pariah. So now Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince, he's retaliating by trying to buy and sell oil in yuan. And also Brazil. Lula da Silva, the new president of Brazil, he is trying to de-dollarize the world. He never would have been elected if Biden didn't help him over his predecessor. So we've opened the door to de-dollarization. Matter of fact, Biden did.
And when people are hearing the phrase de-dollarization, I don't think most people understand what that would really mean to them, to their families, to their budgets. How would this play out in terms of dollars and cents?
Well, what it means is that the world doesn't use the dollar, which means that we got to borrow in somebody else's currency, which always is a risk.
More expensive.
And much more expensive, puts the U.S. really at risk of default. And also interest rates are going to go up well beyond where they are right now. The U.S. loses a lot of diplomatic leverage because we do use the dollar, not only for sanctions, but also for other means as well. So the U.S. in a world where the dollar is not dominant is a world of hurt for the average American.
Well, and Gordon, finally, when we see Biden send 4 officials, top officials to Beijing after the balloon surveillance, Uyghur genocide, crushing freedom in Hong Kong, and all these liberals here in the United States, AOC, where are all these people? Where are the progressives? They used to say they cared about human rights.
Yeah, well, they certainly don't care about genocide and crimes against humanity, and these atrocities are the worst since the Third Reich. But it also means Biden is trying to show the Chinese, I guess, that we think we're a supplicant, because that's the way Xi Jinping views it. When we send 4 senior officials to China without a return visit by a senior official to Washington. This is really bad diplomacy. And really what it's making is Xi Jinping much more aggressive, which means that he very well may start a war because he doesn't respect the United States anymore, thinks we're weak.
Gordon, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.